We have a lot of work to do with some of our fellow industry professionals on the compliance side. I had a conversation with Jim Tidwell, who is a primary author of his guide, Fire Safety in Green Buildings. His biggest piece of advice that he wanted me to impart to design professionals was that have conversations with your fire officials. Get to know them. If you don't know them, send them a fruit basket. I don't know, get to know them. Because it's very, very important that you understand all of the implications around access, that renewable energy on the roof. You know, it's a knee-jerk reaction to maybe fill an entire roof full of PVs, but you can't do that because of fire service access issues. The other issue brought up was insulation. In the latest version of 90.1, we have something like 6 or 8 inches of insulation. How do I detail that corner? Can anyone tell me? Because I don't know. It's tough. We have weird situations with more and more insulation being called for in prescriptive codes. And then the first thing the fire service says is, yeah, they're fire retardant insulation, but it's a fuel. And we're going to see more insulation fires in commercial buildings. And again, this is coming from the National Association of State Fire Marshals. But aside from all these technical issues, which I truly believe we can work out, whether it's envelope detailing, or it's insulation or it's window IGCC, it doesn't matter. I think that the technology can catch up and design can catch up, but there's nothing that can replace a good conversation with the fire service about expectations for a green building project. So I'm using this as an example because they're one group. You have a lot of other interests in your jurisdictions that are going to have specific concerns. And the earlier you talk to them, the earlier you can figure those concerns out. So we all need to slow down. That's one thing. I think jumping the gun and in the case of jurisdiction, racing to adopt lead and trying to get something green in places. It's green and we need the lead. Often you see an S at the end of leads. We need the leads. Give us the leads. That has to stop. We have a document coming, a model code coming, that is going to make it possible to address many of the base green building concerns that jurisdictions have. I think that if we can be advocates in all of our jurisdictions for a sensible approach to green design and to sort of hold the phone and wait for the green code to come out and read it first and then act, I think we'll all be better off. So I just want to mention a few more resources that AI offers. We do a local leaders in sustainability report, and it covers jurisdictions, I believe, over 400,000 that have green building ordinances. And we're hoping that in the near future that will include jurisdictions that have adopted the IGCC. We've done a guide to the building life cycle assessment. That's another thing that if you look carefully at the code, not quite worked out yet. Building assessment, life cycle assessment is an emergent field. We have a couple tools out there that are useful, but if you read the appendix of the Green Code, it's actually included as a concept in one of the appendices under, I believe, carbon emissions. And it's a big one, and it's not completely worked out yet on the technical side, so it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Code Top 10, I'm assuming most of you are familiar with Code Top 10 awards. 10 projects a year are awarded based on 10 sustainability measures of the Committee on the Environment. In the past 2 years, there's been a great deal of concern over the actual energy performance of top 10 projects, because if we are going to talk the talk, then we need to walk the walk and make sure that the projects that we are deeming worthy of an award on sustainability should actually perform. So there's been actually a document produced by our Strategic Initiatives Department dealing with sustainability about the Code Top 10 projects. They came up with measures for the award based on energy performance, and it's all good things. This is all sort of wrapped up in our energy and our sustainability policy and related to our work on the IGCC. We think about all of this in context when we work on code development. I do want to mention briefly something that started in Seattle. It's an AIA program. They've sort of franchised it to other AIA chapters. It's based on the 2030 goals. It is from top down. an approach to energy efficiency. They cover a number of topics for reaching better and better energy efficiency in buildings, whether it's envelope systems, mechanical systems, daylighting is huge. And it's starting to be offered in different chapters. I'm actually taking it in DC because they started offering it. I jumped at the chance to take the course. So I don't know if your AIA chapter locally is looking into it, but it's a great program. The curriculum was written by AIA Seattle, and it's being disseminated to other chapters that are interested. It's sort of a joke, but it is exciting. Having something that we have been involved with from the very beginning, that we can manage the expectations on, that we can drive in the future, that we can keep an eye on, is exciting to us. Because so often these things happen in a vacuum, or they happen without our knowledge. What happened? Has someone ever green code? No, we didn't want that to happen in this case. We wanted to be involved from the very beginning. In terms of code development, there's a hearing in Dallas on May 16th to the 22nd. This is on the second public comment period, so folks of every stripe submit the comments, and there's going to be a hearing in front of the committee. 2 podiums, healthy debate, that's how the code is written. There's a final action hearing in November, and after that, it's going to be published. So we've got one more comment period, and it'll actually be comments to comments. I know that probably doesn't make any sense, but after the code development hearing, the results of that are published, and then any additional comments on those comments are submitted and then heard at a final action hearing in November. But that's it. So we've got the green code that'll go in a normal development cycle, and we would love it if we could get more folks like yourselves who have technical expertise and how buildings go together, be involved in the process. It's as simple as contacting AIA. We have a national codes advocacy program that I lead at this time, and we believe that good things will come of having more involvement from AIA members and those of you who are members of CSI. If you want to learn more, we do have an IGCC toolkit, aia.org/IGCC. And our codes advocacy home on the web is at the org at codes advocacy, all one word. We have online communities. We have a healthy debate going. Not every member believes the same thing about the green code, but that's a good thing. We want to continue the conversation with our members and with others and make it the best thing it can be. So I thank you.